Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. So today we're going to be learning about props. So let's get started. So we're going to be using these props a lot in ReactJS, so we got to learn these. So basically props are ways to pass data from one component to another one. Basically these are kind of like these properties are shared between these components, and they're used to make components dynamic and components reusable. So sometimes you guys don't understand anything. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, kind of. So we're gonna see an example though. So first of all, we're gonna delete all that code and we're gonna go to our test.jsx, which I created right here. Let me see. There we go. That right there. And let's go ahead and go right here. And inside this, what I'm gonna have is a functional component, a function, and this component is gonna be a hello component. And this is how we normally create components, right? And then you're gonna return, obviously. And there we go. So that's basically how you create the components. But now onwards, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have an extra thing inside this parentheses, which is props. And now with these, we can pass some prop or properties to it. So let's see. So first, what we're gonna return is let's say an h1 tag so that we can see, and let's just say name, and we're gonna put that. And I mean, this is basically a text tool here. And now this is where it comes in place. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your curly braces just like that, and then you're gonna have props, which is basically the props object right there or parameter, and you're gonna do dot name. So this name is not even created, but we are gonna be doing soon. So first of all, let's go ahead and export this so that we can use in our app.js or any other file. Export default hello. There we go. So we are exporting right there, and sometimes it's fine if you guys don't understand. You just gotta understand this part. Except if you don't understand this, it's totally fine. I'm just gonna explain you guys. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your app, and then you're gonna import the hello. There we go. And I'm just gonna mention the file type too. There we go. So now under this return, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a hello, the component we created. And now normally that's how you're gonna do, right? But we're gonna do something extra right here. So since we have props right there, what you're gonna do is basically I have name right there. So basically I already decided what I want to have, basically name, so that's why I use name right there. So what we're gonna do inside this hello component, we're gonna give a space, name equals, and then you're gonna have a set of curly braces, and then in a string. So let's just say John right there, and that should be it. So basically props dot name, we're getting the name. So if you have any age or something like that, you can put that too, of which I'm gonna be saying you guys too. So that's how this thing works. So let's go ahead and go to our React app. There we go. So name John, that works. And if I don't have these props, let me go ahead and remove this and go there. So there we go, our John is no longer there. So that's what happens without props. Since we don't pass it doesn't do anything. So yeah, let's also see our console real quick without the props. Let me reload this so that it works. Inspect, and we're gonna wait for console, and there we go. Let's go to console, and it didn't give us any error. It's just like you have to pass kind of thing, not like Python or something. It's just gonna stop it, but it didn't give us any error. So that's how this thing works. And let's go ahead and get our prop since we need it. Let me go ahead and put that. Let's go ahead and do, let me do this short form, right? And then name is gonna be that, and John. So now that's how this thing works. So now we understand what happens right here, right? Because basically we are accessing the name of it. So yeah, that's pretty basic. So what we're gonna do is after this, I'm just gonna have age right there, and then we're gonna have props dot age. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have something like this. Age. Let's remove that. We don't need it. Age equals, and then this is going to be in a number, so we can just say the age to be as 21 or so. And let's go ahead and go to that, and age is 21, so that works. Name John and the age is 21. So that's how you can have more properties or so. I mean, basically you can just have these dot age or so you can have many of these. It really doesn't matter. And these props can also be having child components. So let me go ahead and remove this since I want to show you guys the child components thing. So let's go ahead and do our hello right there. And now what we're going to do under this is we're going to have a paragraph. So no, let's just do h2 so that we can see. Let me go ahead and remove that. And inside this h2, I'm just going to say hello. This is h2. Since we are doing an h2, I just wrote that. And now what we can do is let's go right here. Let me reload this. So that doesn't work for us. It doesn't really give us the thing h2 right there. It doesn't give us that. And so yeah, but if you want that to appear, what you can do is first of all we're gonna use a fragment, or you can also use a div tag, but I'm just gonna use a fragment. Let me go ahead and put that. There we go. So now what we can do inside this fragment is we can have a space, and then here we can just do something like this. So we can do like this. So let's go ahead and do props dot, and normally these are the things you can use inside it, as we know, but you're gonna use something called children, which let me show you guys, dot children, and this is gonna make the thing appear. Hello, this is h2. So that's how you can show the children things inside it. So yeah, you can do that too. And props is actually a very good thing in React.js, so it's immutable. Basically you cannot change, you cannot do props dot name or so you cannot do that too. So which is pretty good. I'll say I just want to include that fact right there. And now what we can do is let's go ahead and set some default props, and also we're going to be learning about something called prop types. So we're going to be learning about these two last topics, which are very, very important. So till here we were just learning about basics, but let's say you don't have these things. Let me just go ahead and remove that so that it's not going to be that confusing. And let me make it in the same line right there. And let me just remove all this. And let's say your thing is like this, and you, for whatever reason, you didn't include that. So let's say it's like this, okay? Let me also remove the fragment so that you guys are not confused. So for some reason you forgot to include the props, and let's go right here. So it's just giving you like this. So normally you want some default thing, right? So what you can do is you can do something like this. So you can do first of all you have to have something like this. So first you gotta import something, so which I'm gonna be saying you guys, import, let me go ahead and do it at the top, import prop, and remember it should be in the same exact format. The P should be small and the T should be in a capital case or so. So yeah, from, and we're gonna do from, let's go ahead and do like this, prop types, and that's where you're gonna import that. And remember to put in the same case like this. If you don't, sometimes it's not even gonna work because you're gonna use in different cases in specific time. So yeah. And now what we can do is kind of like creating a new variable, but we're technically not creating a new variable in here. So let's go ahead and do prop dot, let's go ahead and do, first of all we don't need that, we're gonna do hello dot prop types, and that's how you're gonna change the prop types, or you're gonna mention the prop types. Let's go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna be saying you guys what it does after or later in this video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna specify the names type. So let's go ahead and do that. Prop type, oh we did it wrong, prop type, there we go. We want it to be, let's say, string, because the name is going to be in a string. That's what we wanted. And age should be let's say it should be as a number, because since it's an age we just want it to be a number. So we are basically defining the types, and normally this is not going to work because you don't have any commas, so you can access more, and it's a good practice to put it right here, but you don't have to though. And we can do that. And now what we can do is we can go to app.js, and inside this let's go ahead and leave it like this. So basically what we are doing is we are importing prop types, which is found in our node modules right here. So it's found like in a right here, somewhere right here in this p place. So yeah, there we go, prop types right there. So this is prop types, which is found in our node modules, and then we are importing right here, and then we are using at the end saying hello, which is our function right here, dot prop types. Basically we're defining the prop types, the name to be a string and the age to be a number. So let's go ahead and get our things back, and let's go ahead and type, let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, so we have everything done. So let me just say this to be a string, basically h to be a string 21. And let's go right here. Let me reload that. So that still works, but what is happening with this prop type? So if we go to inspect console, let me go to console. So it gave us a warning, so it just gives that warning right there. So it's a good practice to include these prop types so that you can debug or know what's your problem in the code or so. So yeah, that's why you can use prop types, and it's a good practice to specify that too. And there we go. So that's prop types. So we can just keep it right there. We don't have to mess with that. So let's go ahead and go right here. And here what we're going to be learning about is default props. So it's kind of like the same syntax or the same way you write it. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to have default props. And there we go. So that's how you're going to have it. And then you can basically, this is a lot of fun, default props. So it's kind of like you setting a placeholder in HTML, which we learned. So it's kind of like that. So what you can do is name, you can put it to anything. Let's say Joe or something like that. And next what we can do is now inside this we can also have a specific age. So it might be like 29 or so, or 28, or it might be anything. So you can do that. And the syntax is the same. You have to have that right there. And now that should be good. Now let's go right here. So let's go ahead and delete this since we need default props. So first of all, let me show you how it looks like. So it gives us John as 21. And if I delete this, basically if I don't have these things right here or our properties, let's go ahead and do that. And we're gonna reload this. There we go. John is no longer there, but it's still 28 age, so that works. So that's an example of how this thing, these default props work. And you can keep this prop types if you want. Really doesn't matter. So we just have to understand these and practice more about these if you don't understand. So yeah, if you want, you can just replay my video and then see if you want. So yeah. So that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.